at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. We're about 7.5 minutes away from kickoff. We're going to go ahead and step aside, take our final timeout of the UIS Insurance and Investments pregame show. We'll be back with the start of tonight's matchup between Tiffin Columbian and Norton right here on your Seneca County Sports Connection, WTTF.
Wendy's, Bob Evans Restaurant, GW's Fine Food and Spirits, Ironwood Steakhouse, Madison Street Tavern, Tiffin Paper Company, Quick Tab 2, Frozone, Reno's Pizza, Ballman Automotive Group, Tiffin Metal Products, Sarkis Sheet Metal, United Insurance Services, Tiffin Air, Old Fort Bank, AmVets Post 48, Dr. Jeffrey Shawberry, DDS, Burns Electric, B. Mark Davis, Attorney at Law, Nurse Midwives Susan Smith and Kathleen Poole, Dr. Mark Akers, MD, the Tiffin Eagles, and the Chandelier. We thank you for your support of our student athletes.
Because I remember the exact same thing.
For tonight's Division III Region 10 playoff matchup between the Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes and the Norton Panthers. Nate Mullins here in the press box with Tommy Hall. You've been listening to the UIS Insurance and Investments pregame show. We're about 5 minutes away from the start of tonight's matchup. And Tommy, I'm going to let you dig right into this one. I know many tidbits for the listeners out here. What are some of the keys for tonight's game?
It's funny how we kind of come full circle in this 2020 campaign when we first saw these Tornadoes against that Blue Streak team. I had touched on it then that this team wasn't as big as a lot of teams that you've seen in Columbian's past, but they were going to be explosive and they were going to kill teams with speed. That's exactly what you've seen throughout the first 8 weeks here of action from these Tornadoes as they've just lighted up the board over the past few games. For this Tornado squad, again, they're going to have to come in and use what got them to the dance. Literally, as you look at this young quarterback duo with Logan Beeston and Braden Rago. You know, Beeston, 572 yards with 9 touchdowns and only 1 pick on the season for a sophomore quarterback. Again, his first taste of playoff action here tonight. You know, and again, a lot of these guys making their debut in under the bright lights and stepping into the big dance. And I expect Tiffin Columbian to kind of stick to their game plan here, kill this team with speed, and do what got them to the dance. And as we saw in that matchup against Sandusky, you know, the Tornadoes were kind of slow to get out the gate, but then boom, instant offense by that Tornado squad. This Norton squad, I see this kind of being a little bit similar game, even though Norton was able to edge Sandusky to earn the right to make this game here tonight their first playoff appearance since 1997 for the Norton Panthers.
And, you know, Tommy, this Tiffin Columbian team, you talked about how explosive they are, but one thing I think that kind of goes unnoticed is just the defensive prowess that they've put on display this year. You know, they put up 32 points a game, but they also limit their opponents to just 14 points per game. And I think that's pretty impressive when you consider, you know, their one loss was just by 7 points, just a one-score game there against Bellevue. We were there for that one.
Whoa.
And, I mean, the two games that were close with this team this year, they're low-scoring games. And so this is a defensive team just as much as it is an offensive team.
And think about what you just said there, and that one blemish on the Tornadoes' record, at the hand of the Bellevue Redmen. That was a game where the ground game in the interior killed the Tornadoes, and that's what Norton's specialty is going to be here tonight. Is they got a really talented running back. They're not going to throw a lot of looks at you downfield. They try to control the tempo and control the game with the ground game. And this Tornado defense, they're going to have to be stout in the interior, and they, as you always talk about, it starts down there in the trenches.
You're absolutely right. We've got Greg Kinn down on the sidelines tonight. Want to send it down to Greg, just check in for the weather conditions. First of all, Greg, how are we feeling tonight?
Oh, it feels good to be down here for playoff football, I'll tell you guys that much.
Absolutely.
It's nice and cold down here on the field, but the wind doesn't seem to be too much of a factor tonight, guys, so hopefully the weather doesn't play too much into this game.
Well, there you go. That's Greg Kinn down on the sidelines. We'll check in with him throughout tonight's game. I want to give a thanks and a big shout out to Jenny up here manning the cameras and keeping our live stream going. Once again, folks, you can catch our audio stream at WTTF.com and on our free WTTF app. As always, you can catch us on the terrestrial radio, AM 1600 and FM 93.3. But also tonight, we have a companion piece as you can tune in to our Boxcast stream. That's right, we have a live video stream to accompany the audio tonight. You can tune in. Find us on Facebook. That's right, search for WTTF Sports on Facebook. You can find the direct link to the Boxcast stream. I always recommend follow the link, go to the Boxcast stream. Don't watch the Facebook Live video. It's just not the best quality. The best quality is always follow that Boxcast link. And once again, we are just about set for kickoff here tonight. And Tommy, the stage is set. What a great atmosphere for playoff football here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And unlike my one-man show, this is a tough ticket to get here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. So, again, we encourage you. Join us over at our Boxcast live stream. But, man, I'm just excited to be up here, up in the press box at beautiful Frost-Kalnow Stadium for this Division III Region 10 playoff matchup between the Columbian Tornadoes and the Norton Panthers.
I want to give a huge shout-out and a thank you to the Tiffin Columbian Athletic Director, Dan Hartzell, for allowing us to continue with the video stream here with Tiffin Columbian. He said that whatever it takes, whatever we need to do to make that video stream happen, he's going to help make it happen. And I'll tell you, Tommy, that's encouraging when you're working with people like that because, he has from day one tried to be as helpful as possible and tried to be as accommodating as possible to our broadcast team. And it makes you feel good when you work with people like that.
I can't say enough about the Tiffin Columbian Athletic Department and their athletic director, Dan Hartzell. But, man, we're about ready for kickoff here from Frost-Kalnow Stadium. Nate.
Save your compass to kick off the Tornadoes.
These numbers, wow. So we got the Norton Panthers out here in black pants, white helmets, white jerseys, and white numbers.
Yeah, good luck with that one, guys.
With red outline around the numbers.
Pretty much silver on white numbers, but yeah.
Then you have Tiffin Columbian wearing my favorite jerseys, the dark gunmetal gray with the navy blue numbers and the gold trim to the numbers.
Vegas gold.
Yes. So you can just barely see the numbers, but much more legible with Tiffin Columbian as opposed to the Panthers here. But now we are just about ready for kickoff. Xavier Coppice set to get his leg into this one, and we are underway here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. Returned at the 5, to the 15, to the 20, 25, up to the 30-yard line is where the Panthers will bring it back, and that's where Norton will take over. For the Panthers, and we're set for the first look at the Tiffin Columbian defense.
And that's a decent return by Green to set him up on the 32.
27-yard return there.
Talked about in the pregame, this Norton offense, they're not going to shy away from that run game.
Back to pass, quarterback looking. Going deep down the left side, and it is incomplete. number 1, Larry Harper, the quarterback,
Larry Harper's
senior quarterback,
pass intended
6'2",
for number
195.
15, Connor Ray.
Got that one away, and it was a pretty good
defended
throw.
on
I
the
mean, he
play
put
by
it
number 7, Trey
almost
Reed.
right on the money there, Tommy. Just
Second
unable to
and
come
10.
down with it was the receiver. I believe that's number 15 there. Yes, 15.
Yeah,
Connor Cray.
Well, that was a nice, he had his man beat.
He really did.
All right there on the sideline, just unable to come away with it.
Panthers now run it up the middle off the right guard, and maybe a yard on the play, not much more. Forward progress will mark them up 2 yards.
Looks like number 26 there, Nate.
26 on the carry, Nathan Merrill. Thanks for that check in there, Greg. Appreciate that for sure.
It's either 25 or 26. It's hard to see still.
Columbian had 4 down defensively, brought Jackson Harris up, and he was able to plug up that hole right there in the middle. Only for 2 on 3rd and 8 now.
Harper back to pass. Loads up left side, and it's complete, but it's going to be short of the first down marker. He's got it up to the 40-yard line, about 2 yards shy of the first down marker.
Justin Oselin.
4th down and 2 coming up,
Number 15, Gunther Kissel.
and we'll see what the Panthers decide to do here. Tommy, you think they would punt? You just never know in high school football.
What we talk about, again, your tomorrow's never being guaranteed. How true is that here in the postseason? It's win or go home. And these Norton Panthers, first playoff appearance since 1997.
Looks like they're going to line up to go for it here. They fake the handoff. Now they get rid of it right side, but it's incomplete, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. He was trying to find number 38. That is Justin Oselin. Oselin had that one go right through his hands. He had the first down there, Tommy. He was all by himself. Probably had another 10 yards after the catch, but just unable to secure that one. And it's going to be a turnover on down. So Columbian will take over inside Panther territory at the 40-yard line.
Well, Columbian brought the heat, throw the ball out, and just had a little bit too much mustard.
Logan Beeston gets tonight off. 2-3 game up to about 3. Beeston shotgun able to get handed off. Jackson off the right side, and he's set up near the 33. Down 3.
And you love how this running game has really developed over the past couple weeks here. John Jackson now coming in tonight, carried the ball for 102 times for 695 yards and 8 touchdowns.
Up to the line quickly. They get it off to the left side. It's complete. And that's good for a first down. It moves it down the 24-yard line.
How about this quick tempo, guys?
Right up to the line to call the next play. Logan Beeston, handoff. Jackson, left side. To tackle, carries it forward, and he's got it up near the 15-yard line. Keyshawn Jackson on the carry, good for about 9 yards.
Well, that's what Columbian likes to do, like to hammer away and dent these defensive lines and then run some RPO out of it.
Once again, quick up to the line. Jackson, right side, trying to find some running room here, and he's going to be stood up and stonewalled by the defense right at the 15-yard line. So quick substitution here for Tiffin Columbian.
About 1 on the play.
3rd down and 1 coming up.
By roughly 7 or 8 Panthers.
Tornado come out. Back snap, Brody Conley. And
They don't shy away from that 4-4 zone look.
so Brody Conley able to pick up that 4th down conversion, moves the ball to the 13-yard line. 1st and 10. 2 receivers on each side of the field. Beeston in the shotgun takes the snap, looking into the end zone, fires it, and it's complete. And he got it. Touchdown, Tiffin Columbian.
Say he was absolutely in there, guys.
Yeah, the referee down there didn't give the
Well, I out over the corner, all inside there.
All right, so touchdown, Tiffin Columbian. 8:36 left to play here in the first quarter And that was quick work by that Columbian offense. 40-yard drive in no time.
Yeah, down in the red zone, finding a soft spot in that zone. Who was that on the?
LG Reed and the touchdown. And that's Tiffin Columbian on the board. 7 to start this one as Xavier Coppice knocks through the extra point.
Well, O.J. Reeves adding on to that league-leading 7 scores, now with 8, 21 catches. I think that put him right at about the 400-yard mark now.
8 touchdowns and 21 catches.
That's great, especially for a 6-game season. I mean, so that Columbia after defense gave him the ball after a 4-and-out, and they were 50 yards for the score.
They just have so many weapons they can just throw at you. We talk about them being able to dent the defense with that Keshawn Jackson and then be able to open up the passing game with them like Reeves and then Simcoe, who's right behind him with 30 catches for 108 yards and 6 touchdowns on the season. Just tremendous production out of the wideouts here at Tiffin Columbian.
And they've got plenty of targets to distribute the ball to between Beeston and Rogo. Deep kick, fielded at the 5-yard line.
It's number 24 with the return, guys.
Bring it up to the 20, and he is stood up right at the 20-yard line. Big hit there by number 4, Seth Belleville. Michael Green on the return, but this time much shorter on the result. Big by Seth Belleville.
Yeah, Belleville, he can definitely send you to ring your Belleville.
You ain't kidding, Tommy.
The Norton Panthers at their own 20-yard line were on the field, were unsuccessful as they turned the ball over on downs. Quick pitch to the left side. Running back carries it forward and picks up a couple yards up to about the 24. Reed Beto on the carry, good for about 3 yards. Second down and 7 coming up. Tomorrow, double dose of high school playoff action here this weekend at Frost-Kalnow Stadium, as we'll be back for a 1:30 kickoff with Tiffin Calvert and Boy. They turn off and a decent gain there up to about the 30-yard.
It's that run game that Tommy talked about at the beginning of the broadcast.
Nathan Merrill on the carry for about 6 yards on the 30-yard line.
Defensively, again, this is a defense. They like to keep things in front of them. They set the blitz when they need to. For the most part, a lot of teams have been able to close gaps in between the teams. Tornadoes defensively.
Formation here. They hand off, and they're going to have the first down, but not a whole lot more as they get it up to the 32-yard line. They only needed a yard on that one, and that's about what they got. Maybe a yard or two, but a first down for Norton, their first of the ball game.
We talk about that 21-20 that Norton had against to get to this the first round bye to kind of get those extra reps in and get a little bit more film time under them. But Norton, thus far, able to put a little bit of a drive together.
So they turn around, hand the ball off, and it's going to be a short gain up to about the 35-yard line.
Oh, they're trying. There was a scuffle for a ball there, guys.
Let's
see.
Reed Beto on the carry. Brody Conley came out of the pile with the ball, but
The referee say he was down first.
down by contact is the ruling. Second down and 7 coming up here after the 3-yard gain. 6:13 left to play here in the first quarter. Tiffin Columbian leading Norton 7-0 here in this Region 10 Division III playoff matchup. Quick up to the line, tight formation. Panthers come out, quick pitch, left side. They carry it up, and the defense does a great job. There's 10 helmets right there by the ball. I mean, that's just swarming to the point of attack right there.
Well, they tried to hurry up to the line of scrimmage there, guys, to try to catch the Tornadoes defense sleeping, but I'm telling you, they're wide awake down here.
Strike offense, but man, what I've really been impressed with the Tornadoes this year is just the defensive prowess that they've had on display in 2020. 3rd down and long, 3rd and 7 coming up. Panthers have it, shotgun set.
Tornadoes going to bring the blitz.
Harper, back to pass, loads it up, gets rid of it, and it's incomplete. He was able to get rid of it. Harper, I'll tell you what, he was lucky to get rid of that one.
Lucky to get rid of it and lucky to turn that over there.
Yeah.
I think that's terrible spot to throw that pass.
4th and 7. Panthers line up to punt. Here's the snap. And it's going to be blocked. Tiffin Columbian with the blocked punt. And they're going to fall on it. It's going to go out of bounds. Tiffin Columbian has possession at the 43-yard line. So once again, outstanding field position for the Tornadoes.
Well, we talked about records getting thrown out the window here at the top of the program with this Norton squad. Because, again, you have to be somebody to be here tonight. You have to be a worthy opponent or else you wouldn't be here. So one of those things that kind of separates the two when you have two great teams that match up well is the special teams, and that might have made the difference there as the Tornadoes have short field to work with, ball on 43.
Shotgun set, Beeston, handoff, off the left side, Brody Conley on the carry. Brody's got it 10-5, touchdown, Tiffin Columbian. That's Keyshawn Jackson on the carry. Boy, Jackson, he was quick as a hiccup off the left side, and there was nobody anywhere near him once he got out in the open. Big 43-yard touchdown run there by Tiffin Columbian. And Keyshawn Jackson just adding to those rushing totals from this year.
Yeah, he came in tonight, 8 touchdowns. He's going to have 9 now on the season.
They line up to go for the extra point. Kick is up, and the kick is good. And Tiffin Columbian takes a 14-0 lead with 4:51 left to play here in the first quarter. Quick strike once again by this offense.
POT, points off turnovers.
Absolutely.
That makes all the difference. If you're able to capitalize off mistakes, able to turn those mistakes into points, I mean, it's going to get you to the pay window as the Tornadoes. Remember, on the Panthers' last drive, forced to punt. Punt got blocked. Set the Tornadoes up with the ball at the 43. And the first play from scrimmage, Nate, Sean Jackson toes ahead and puts in for another score. Tornadoes up. Nothing.
Huge run by Sean Jackson. And he's got his fingerprints all over the beginning of this game here. And the Tornadoes jump out to an early 14-0 lead. Just under 7 minutes played. Or just over 7 minutes played. Xavier Kopp is set to kick off. It's another deep kick. We fielded at 7-yard Green on the return. 27, maybe the 28-yard line before he's brought down.
This is definitely a big drive for the Norton Panthers as they got to answer back now. That Tiffin Columbian able to get ahead 2 scores, and that's what this Tornado squad likes to do. They want to control the tempo. They want to get out to an early lead and just kill you with points, pour it on you, and then allow this stout defense to put you away.
Handoff. Follows his blockers and gets it forward for about a 5-yard gain up to about the 33-yard line.
Reed Beto on the carry. He's going to be stopped on the play by number
Reed Beto
Seth Belleville.
with a 5-yard gain there for the Panthers.
Not a bad way to come out on that one.
Gain of 5 on the play. Ball will be spotted at the 33-yard line.
2nd down and 5 coming up.
Can't see anybody's numbers.
No, either team. Yes. I hate this shirt. 100% agree.
And we got an offsides penalty against Tiffin Columbian.
Oh, man.
Dead ball. Encroachment.
That's going to move the ball forward and give the Panthers a fresh set of downs. Ball be placed at the 38-yard line.
Panthers first down.
That's something we see there sometimes, guys, when the defense is getting real aggressive and getting real hungry. They're looking for another big stop here.
Well, that discipline, Greg, you know, that mental miscues, that separates week 8 from week 9.
We wondered how that bye week would affect these Columbian Tornadoes. So far, hasn't really affected them much from the perspective of either offense or defense. The defense has come out locked in here tonight. And on offense, boy, that quick strike ability is really on display here in the early going.
We really got to think to yourself what a different landscape it is, not just for this 2020 season, but not having to be spit out at the end of the season from that meat grinder and SBC conference.
Peyton Gardner on the carry for Norton. Carries it forward to about the 44-yard line before he's brought down. Kayshawn Hatley on the carry, or on the tackle. 3rd and 4 coming up here for Norton.
That's one thing that you expect out of this shortened season. You know, you talk about teams coming into mid-season form. I mean, a lot of teams, they start to catch fire right around the midpoint, and that can be enough to take you in to where you need to go.
Beto, the man in motion, little double reverse, and they pick it off. Picked off by the Tornadoes, and they bring it back to the 20, 50. Down at the 5-yard line, but there's an tornado down on the field.
Slowly getting up.
As whoever picked that one off had it stripped away, and on the strip, it was pretty clear he was hurt. Still down on the field in a lot of pain. Seth Belleville
Going to the back of his arm there, guys.
on the interception, and that's definitely
Belleville with his defensive heroics.
that's a huge play there by Belleville. He was right. He was in the right spot.
He's up on his feet now, guys. That's a good sign. I think he took a lick to the back of his arm there. That's what he seemed to be
Yeah, you
stretching
can tell
out.
his left arm is in a lot of pain right now.
Well, Belleville's sacrifice will set the Tornadoes up.
They got the ball at the 7-yard line. Braden Rogo into the game now for Tiffin Columbian. Handoff up the middle. And maybe a yard. Keyshawn Jackson on the carry.
Gain about a yard on the play.
You do see Coach Lutz use Rogo here in red zone situations a lot of time because he's a specialist with running that RPO.
Rogo fakes the handoff, now rolls to his right, gets it away into the end zone.
Did he have a foot in
And
bounds?
he's in. Touchdown, Tiffin Columbian.
Rogo's pass is complete to number 5, Drew Vasco.
Drew Vasco on the catch. And touchdown, Tiffin Columbian. Vasco, the junior, 6'1", 152, coming down with a touchdown catch, puts Tiffin Columbian up 20-0 with 2 minutes left here in the first quarter.
And this Rogo, he's
Xavier Coppice, extra point is up and good, and puts the Tornadoes up 21-0.
well, let me remind you folks, this Rogo, he's a freshman.
Yeah,
A freshman.
yeah,
And here he is in the playoffs.
that was moxie right there.
One of the, one of the hardest stages to perform at, because it's all on the line, mistake-free football. And Rago, as he comes out of the pocket there, just so poised, a quiet confidence, delivers the ball, able to extend this lead. And Tiffin Columbian, again, they're just clicking on all cylinders now. After a big interception by Seth Belleville on Norton's last drive, set the Tornadoes up in the red zone.
David kickoff for the Tornadoes.
Tornadoes were able to put points on the board now to extend this lead 21-0, Nate.
Let's keep an eye on Belleville and the situation with that. See how he's able to recover here tonight. I don't see any trainers attending to him, so hopefully that's a good sign. Tiffin Columbian, that explosive offense on display, and that huge big play defense.
Kick's going to go out of bounds down here, guys.
And the kickoff goes out of bounds on the 6-yard line. That'll place the ball at the 35.
When you got a defense that can get you turnovers, set you up with great field position, got special teams that can set you up with great field position, I mean, you make any offense look great.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. 2 minutes left to play here in the first quarter, and the Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes have jumped out to a 3-score lead here in the early going. And the ball placed at the 35-yard line.
Whoa. I don't think the referees are ready and in place yet. I think they were still discussing whether or not they wanted to accept the penalty on the kickoff there, guys, and the refs were just getting down into place and they started to run a play anyways. So I think they just called that one dead there.
It's Greg Ken once again down on the sideline. Give me that in-depth perspective that only WTTF can give you.
I'll tell you, for the production value that we provide, I mean, you don't get some of this on ESPN. Now a 1st and 10. Larry Harper under center, turns around, handoff up the middle. Number 41, I believe that was Peyton Gardner.
Gardner on the carry for the Panthers. He's going to be stopped.
Gardner on the carry, good for about 5 up to the 40-yard line.
And also number 3.
2nd and 5 coming up.
I tell you guys, we talked about how important it was for the Panthers to score on their last drive. Well, how about now they're down by 3 scores here and the first quarter is almost over?
Well, this Panthers squad, they found something in the run game. They're able to get these 4 or 5 yard chunk plays, but then they shy away from it.
They bring 6 up on the line to combat that power look. And Panthers get it up to about the 43-yard line.
And I know it's still early in the game, guys, but we've talked about this before. When you're a run-first team, the clock is your enemy when you're behind in the game.
That's good. That's a good point to keep your eye out. As this one starts to, well, we're not out yet. Starting to unravel for Norton, but they're driving here.
3rd down and 2. They need to get it to the 4th. Panthers come out in a power set. He backs the backfield.
It's got to be good.
Handoff. Good for the 1st down. And he carries it forward to about the 46-yard.
Ball will be spotted at the 46-yard line.
So 1st down for Norton. They found a little bit of running room in that defense.
It's kind of like we always talk about with this Tornado squad. Bend but do not break mentality. They'll let you think that you're safe, and then
one back in the backfield. They turn around, hand off to the back. He carries it forward to about the 48-yard line. Good for about 2 yards. That should be the last play of the first quarter. With your score, Tiffin Columbian 21, Norton 0. We're going to step aside, take a timeout. We'll be back with more high school playoff football right here on your Seneca County Sports Connection, AM 1600, FM 93.3, WTTF. here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. Nathan Merrill on the carry for Norton. Good for maybe a yard. Actually, I don't even think he got a yard on that one. So 3rd and 6 coming up here for the Panthers. They have it at midfield. Once again, your score, Tiffin Columbian 21, Norton 0 here in this Division III Region 10 playoff matchup. The Norton Panthers were able to beat Sandusky 21-20 in the first round, and that's how they were able to make it here tonight. Tiffin Columbian, with their first round bye, used that to their advantage to tune up and get ready for tonight. And so far, so good. Out to a 21-0 lead. Big run there by the Panthers.
Seth Finnegan on the carry. That'll be about a gain of 6, which will be good for a Panther first down.
Seth Finnegan on the carry, and I'll tell you what, Tommy, that was pretty heavy duty right there, lowering the wood at the end of that one.
Yeah, run Finnegan.
That gives the Panthers a first down. They mark the ball at the 43-yard line. First time they've made it into tornado territory. Harper turns around, handoff up the middle. They break a couple tackles. He's down to about the 30-yard line. Reed Beto on the carry.
Pick up about 13 on the play.
Big run there.
Finding some success there with that multiple back look and then running up the middle there, guys, like we talked about in the last series before we switched over to the second quarter here. Finding some success in that run game.
Score update. The Revere Minutemen are currently leading the Medina Buckeye Bucks.
So, tight formation once again for the Panthers. They turn around, hand it off. Back follows his lead blockers and picks up maybe about a yard up to about the 29-yard line.
Yeah, defense wasn't going to be fooled there. They stayed at home at front and just kind of shifted to the left.
And the Panthers come out, 2nd and 9. Once again, tight bunched formation here. 3 backs in the backfield. They turn around, hand it off. Might have it. We'll wait and see what the call is.
Say a Panther fell on that one.
And they say Tiffin Columbian football. The Tornadoes come up with the ball on the bottom of the pile after stripping it out at the end of the run.
I think there was initially a Panther on that ball, Tommy, like you said, but it popped back out after that, and he never actually had possession of it. So.
Well, anyway, a 3rd turnover now for the Panthers. Going to give the Tornadoes the ball back now.
Tiffin Columbian takes over with their worst starting position of the ball game at their own 27-yard line. It's the first time they've started in their own territory, Tommy. All 3 possessions have started so far inside Panther territory. First one started all the way down the 7-yard line to the big Seth Belleville interception.
That's what we talk about with this Columbian defense. I mean, when you think an offense is bearing on you, the defense able to turn it up a notch, force a turnover, force a stop. They make those adjustments. That's what's scary about that defense. Adjust on the fly.
Brody Conley, the fumble recovery for the Tiffin Columbian defense. This year, Tiffin Columbian team as a unit +6 in the turnover margin on the regular season. Wow. With 11 takeaways and just 6 giveaways or 5 giveaways. They continue that success here in the playoffs.
And Norton sniffs it out.
This time do a great job of stopping the run. Seth Belleville on the carry. Good to see him back into the game.
Yeah, welcome back. He's just met.
Logan Beeston back into the game for Tiffin Columbian. Brings a man in motion. Beeston takes the snap. Loads it up over the middle. Complete. He's got it up near the 35-yard line. Nice reception there by Brett Minnick. And Minnick gets it up to, like I said, about the 35-yard line.
We saw Tiffin Columbian send the man in motion. That lures that outside linebacker to follow him, allowing that soft space right there in the middle.
Beeston Quick fire out to the right side. Minnick once again, but this time he's driven out of bounds. Nice open field tackle there by number 16, Seth Finnegan. Finnegan, a couple of physical plays here in this second quarter. Or Tornadoes keep the offense on the field, trying to catch them with a hard count, but they don't jump. So now Beeston looks at the sideline for the play, has the adjustment. Beeston. Now they're going to try to draw him off again, but they did not jump. Defense stays home. Looks like they're going to take a timeout, and they'll talk things over. We'll keep it right here with 8:23 left to play here in the first half.
And that's a great time to use a timeout, Nate, as again, you tried to get your offense out there, try to draw that defense, offsides. You already got a nice 21-0 lead. Can't take those timeouts into the halftime with you, so why not just see if you can get that defense to jump and then just call a timeout and send your special teams out. Or maybe not. We've seen Judd Lutz draw up some good ones in the past.
It's hard to say here in the playoffs, fellas. I mean, you can't hold anything back, that's for sure.
That's right. Keep the pedal to the metal. Judd Lutz wants to secure that first.
Well, no matter who you're playing
win
against, you can't ever tempt fate.
You want to keep that momentum rolling, though.
They do bring out the punt unit. Xavier Kappas on to punt for Tiffin Columbian.
Well, when you're up 21-0, I think you got some momentum.
I think your defense can continue to carry it for you here.
Kappas gets a booming punt away.
Look at that spiral.
They call for the fair catch at the 33-yard line, and that's where Norton will take over. But a nice punt there by Xavier Kappas.
How about that nice 3 and out by that Norton defense? Now, after this Panther team was able to get something going on the ground, able to chew up big yardage, found themselves driving on their last possession, but a fumble. Turned the ball over as Brody Conley came up with it.
Had 2 turnovers here tonight, this Panthers offense. They've thrown an interception and turned the ball over on the fumble. Now Harper turns around, handoff. Running back is met right at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards by that TC defense.
Oh, man.
Ooh. Number 41 on the carry. We got a late flag come in. Of play, not sure what it's going to be here, but in the neighborhood of unsportsmanlike conduct.
Dead ball, personal foul, late after the play, number 74, the defense.
I was going to say,
Kane
Kane Mears in on the stop. Maybe talking a little bit of talk afterwards, but, I mean, that emotion started flying. This Kane Mears, though, I mean, he's a mean one. He's the kind of guy that flosses with barbed wire.
They mark the ball at the 49-yard line after the costly penalty, and the Panthers now have it close to midfield.
First down for the Panthers.
So now the Panthers come out under center. Quick pitch, left side.
Oh, what a tremendous
Defense does a great job of keying on that one, coming in and making the tackle.
I was going to say, is that Jackson Harris?
Nathan Merrill on the carry. He's going to be cut
Him from
down
the other, him from the backside of the play. Goodness. Oh,
Safe to say
it's a
they're
good
ready
thing
for
you
those
got this. It's a good thing you got this streaming on your box cast and able to put it in your vault, because that's going to be a play by Jackson Harris that you're going to want to take a look at again.
Nathan Merrill on the carry. Just unable to get it to the edge there. Just a 1-yard gain. Bunch formation, 3 backs in the backfield. They turn around, hand it off. And not a whole lot doing there. Maybe a yard or two up to about the 47, maybe the 48. That's where they'll mark him down. 3rd down and 7 coming up now for the Panthers. 6:43 left to play here in the first half. Tiffin Columbian leading by a score of 21-0.
Well, we've seen these Panthers' ability to move the chains on prior drives. It can be done, but man, they really got to get something going here with the 6:20 remaining here in the first half of action.
Shotgun set. Harper back to pass. Loads it up for the screen on the left side. They've got a blocker out in front, and they've got the first down inside Tornado territory down to the 40-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Decker DeVore comes in to make the stop, number 70, the sophomore. But he had just a slew of tornadoes. They brought the house, and they bit on that screen.
I think it was Lucas Dobbins on the catch.
Brings up a first down for the Panthers.
Here we have the Panthers now with a first down. Ball at the 39-yard line. They fake the quick pitch, handoff off the right side up the middle, and maybe a few yards there up to about the 36. But that's about it. Peyton Gardner on the carry for Norton.
I think Tornadoes might have been expecting some attack to the outside there.
Kayshawn Hatley did a nice job there in the middle, plugging up that gap. Second down and 7 coming up here. Five minutes and 10 seconds left to play here in the first half. I think this is kind of a strategy here, Tommy, as they might be just trying to keep this Columbian offense off the field as much as they can here. These long, methodical drives by the Panthers.
Well, I can't.
Might have some kind of a...
I'm not going to sit here and say that I agree with thinking when you're down 21 points that you can control the tempo at that point. But I will say that keeping Columbian's offense off the field is about one of the only ways to stop them.
That's
So,
kind of
I
where I
mean,
was
if
going
you're
with that.
Norton here and you're running, you got to keep continuing to eat up them chunk plays. As time starts, you need to dial up and continue to drive. The rest of it's in between the 20s that you got to take care of first.
Yeah. Second and 7. Panthers coming on a set. 3 backs in the backfield. Quick pitch, right side. And they carry it forward, but then the defense is going to push them backwards. Seth Finnegan on the carry. Maybe a yard on the play, up to about the 35. 3rd and 6 coming up.
Brings up a 3rd and 6 for the Panthers.
4:45 left to play here in the first half. Make sure you stick around for the Little Hugo's Ice Cream halftime show. I think there's still enough time to make a trip over to Little Hugo's. Grab yourself one of them fresh lemon slushes. Those are my favorite. Lemon squeeze slush. I'm telling you, doesn't get much better than that.
Well, 3rd and 6, Norton hoping not to sour, trying to convert this one.
Trying to squeeze everything they can out of this drive. 3rd and 6. Fake the quick pitch. They hand it off to the running back. He's into the open, down inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line.
That's going to go for more.
Beto on the carry, rumbling, tumbling, stumbling his way down to the 18-yard line.
Picking up a Norton Panthers first down.
That was some incredible fake and, selling there by that offense, guys. I really believe that one was coming to the outside, too. Next thing you know, he's up the gut there.
Harper's doing a nice job on those fake pitches, really selling it. Once again, tight formation here. Harper under center, turns around, handoff up the middle. They got it inside 15, down to about the 13. Finnegan on the carry.
Yeah, that's going to be something to keep your eye on. Adjustment where they, again, either pitch it out or turn it up inside.
70, Decker DeVore.
Decker DeVore in on
5-yard gain. Second down. Down to 3 to play here in the first half. The Panthers really ate up quite a bit of clock drive. Harper under center, turns around, handoff up the middle. He's got some blockers, breaks a couple of tackles, and the defense breaks down at the 1-yard line.
able to punch it in here, it gives you a little bit of breathing room. You can start chopping. Because, again, you know, everything weighs on your mind. Once this 24 back into the locker room.
Harper turns around, handoff.
They're going to ball
the
ahead.
middle, and they're in. Touchdown, Norton.
And the Panthers now able to finish a drive here, Nate, to put points on the board, cut away at this deficit, and bring this one just a little bit to them with 3 minutes remaining here in the half.
So Columbian now with lead trimmed to 15. Attempt. Alex Dixon on to attempt the extra point. And the kick is up. Holy, what a boot. Man, did you hear the thud on that one when it came off his foot?
I think
You might want to check the scoreboard.
I was going to say, I think Dan Hartzell's going to be sending Watt over there to fix a few light bulbs.
Wow.
There might be a football-shaped dent on your car.
The announcers just said there might be a football-shaped dent on your car if you parked over there, guys.
On Union Street.
Man. So, Norton draws to within 2 scores now. Able to put together a pretty good offensive drive there and eat up quite a bit of clock. But most importantly, like I mentioned, Tommy, they kept that Tiffin Columbian offense off the field.
Well, guys, if you're Norton, you got to be feeling good about that because you did have a 3-and-out on defense before you got the ball, and then you drove all the way down the field. So there's that momentum.
Great point, Greg.
And Jackson Harris back deep to receive for the Tornadoes.
I think the Panthers are starting to figure out some ways that they can exploit this Tiffin Columbian defense. And it really starts with that heavy package they use. Almost like a variation of a wing T. Yeah, 3 backs in the backfield, quarterback under center, 7-man line, and a balance line too, so very reminiscent of the wing T. Return man fields it at the 3, up to the 20. To the 23, 5 yards. Jack on turn.
Whoa, here we go. You're the Norton Panthers on your last defensive effort, able to force the 3-and-out. Now, and then when you got the ball back, able to put points on the board finally. But now you ask the defense once again to stand tall with 2:53 here remaining.
Logan Beeston in at the quarterback position in the shotgun. Turns around, handoff, up the middle. And I believe that is Keyshawn Jackson on the carry.
Nice little draw play there.
A little move up. That could be
Beeston sets up the screen. They got it out to Jackson. He's got it up past the first down marker. And he's down to about the 38-yard line. Nice pickup there. And that's good for a fresh set of downs for Tiffin Columbian. 2:26 left to play here in the first half. And they quickly get back up to the line.
Well, if you're June Carter Cash and Johnny Cash and Logan Beeston, you're going to Jackson.
Beeston in the shotgun. Looks left. Fires out to the left side. He's got a man at the 50, 45, 40. Penalty marker down, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Tiffin. Well, hold the phone. We'll wait and see what the flag is back here at the 42-yard line.
Looking for a call here, guys. Let's see what they say.
Looks like they're coming back. Legal block in the back on Tiffin Columbian. So that one will force Tiffin Columbian to take those points off the board.
The Columbian there just reminding them of their quick strike ability, guys.
A few mental lapses here have
I think they're going to get some yardage still because the holding call occurred
The illegal block
so far down the field that they still ended up getting 10 yards on the play, good enough for a first down.
For a Tornado first down.
Three receivers on the near side of the field. Beeston looking to the right side, gets it out. It's complete. He's got it up to the 45-yard line.
Logan Beeston's pass complete to number 15, Gunther Kissel.
Gunther Kissel on the reception.
Gain of about 7 on the play.
7-yard
So
gain
second and 3.
up to the 45-yard line. Tornadoes quickly back up. Empty backfield set. Now they bring Jackson in motion. They pitch it out to them to the left side. Jackson to the 40.
Flag.
And he's going to be driven out of bounds near the 36-yard line, but we'll get another flag near the 46-yard line. It looks like this one as well is going to come back. We'll see what the call is. Holding,
Number 16
Tiffin Columbian.
on the offense. 10-yard penalty for the second out.
Well, if you subscribe to my theory at Hold It Home, that just blew up on that one.
Second down and 14. 1:39 left to play here in the first half. Columbian leading by 14. They bring a man in motion. Beeston fakes the motion man, now gets it away over the middle, but it's incomplete. He had a man near the 45-yard line, but just unable to come up with the catch.
Logan Beeston's pass will fall incomplete.
Intended for Maddox Simcoe.
Number 11, Maddox Simcoe.
Apologize for the delay
Down
in
at 14.
player names tonight. A lot of it has to do with the numbers. You just cannot make them out up here. Either team, especially Norton. 3rd and 14. Beeston back to pass. Loads up. He's going over the middle. He's got it complete. And he's got the first down and then some. Reeves cuts back, and he's going to go out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. That's enough for a first down.
It's so hard to keep these tornadoes contained, especially when you're trying to keep it all in front of you. Sometimes you have to sacrifice those chunk plays in order to keep the big one from happening.
Shotgun set. Beeston back to pass. Loads it up. He's got a man down
Just
the field.
like that
End zone, but unable to come up with the catch. Oh, that was a touchdown right in his hands.
Ooh, guys.
Logan Beeston's pass intended for number 16,
Bryce Rogo, the intended receiver, unable to come up with that one. Rogo had his man beat. He had 5 steps on the defense, and he had a touchdown right in his hands, but unable to come up with that one.
How can you split that much talent between two kids? Impossible.
2nd down and 10. Beeston looking, loads it up. It's incomplete.
I think
Nearly picked off by the Panthers, but it falls to the turf, incomplete. And the Tornadoes live to play another day with a 3rd down coming up.
Wow, again, that tip drill, one of the reasons why they're playing defensive back.
Too close for comfort there, guys.
3rd and 10. 2 backs in the backfield. Logan Beeston takes the snap, looks, and then hands off up the middle, and Keyshawn Jackson with a short gain up to about the 27-yard line. We're down to 1:02 left to play here in the first half. 4th down coming up, 4th and 6.
And even though the Tornadoes are driving, you got to believe for these Panthers, again, the clock's whittling down.
Beeston loads it up, left side, complete. They got the first down, and then some.
Oh, no.
He tripped him up before he's able to make it to the end zone.
Wow, guys.
Excuse me. Logan Beeston's pass is complete to number 8, Brett Minnick.
Brett Minnick on the
He's
reception.
going to be tripped up near the 5-yard line.
And he almost
Tornado first
took
I
down.
didn't get a
that one all the
number
way.
on that one, but that might have been a game-saving tackle.
Cody
Yes.
Conley on the
Big
direct snap. And he's going to carry it forward to about the 2-yard line
Cody
before
Conley
they
with the direct snap.
call the
He's gonna take
timeout.
that down to about the 2-yard
Whoa.
line.
2nd and goal coming up here for Tiffin Columbian.
Timeout, Tiffin Columbian. It's your second of the half.
Columbia, and they used the timeout earlier. Call one here, knocking on the door is Norton, trying to hold the Tornadoes here, go into the half, because I believe these Tornadoes are going to get the ball back at half, aren't they? So the last thing you want to do is allow these Tornadoes score here,
I'll tell you
does it
what.
put you that much further back? Because they're going to come out and they're going to get the ball again.
Panthers, and we're about to go into the locker room here. I mean, if the Panthers are able to come up with a stop here and limit the Tornadoes and keep them out of the end zone going into the locker room, you got to think they got to feel a lot heading into the locker room, because nothing with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. And I mean, it looked doomsday for the Panthers. Here in the second quarter, they really turned this around.
And again,
I think we're going to be offsides, maybe something here, guys.
And I believe there's going to be an offsides penalty going against the Panthers.
It looks like the defender's foot was across the ball there.
Dead ball, encroachment, number 2 on the defense.
Yeah, I thought I noticed that.
Repeat second down.
So that'll inch the ball closer. They'll put the ball at the 1 yard line. Tornadoes come out in the shotgun. Beeston rolls to his right, rolling, gets it out into the end zone and complete for the touchdown. L.J. Reeves on the touchdown catch.
waving that off.
We got a flag back here, but I'm not sure. Came kind of late, guys. Was it for the celebration or?
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 2 on the defense.
Unsportsmanlike conduct
wow.
against Norton.
I didn't catch
And that will be
one.
enforced on the kickoff. They called that against number 2, Jason Hippler. Must have been something that happened.
On there,
Dead
guys.
ball,
Absolutely.
unsportsmanlike conduct, number 2 on the defense. That penalty enforced on the kickoff.
Assessed on the kickoff, guys.
So 25 seconds left to play here in the first half. Tiffin Columbian, with their first points of the second quarter, take a 27-7 lead, pending the point after here by Xavier Kappas. I believe that is L.J. Reeves' 9th touchdown. Kappas legs into this one and gets that one up and good. So 25 seconds left here in the first half. Tiffin Columbian takes a 28-7 lead.
I think that might have been the play of the game because, again, what a backbreaker that really is, considering, you go at it tooth and nail for 24 minutes here on the onset, able to hang in there tough, get this to a 14. Norton trying to limit the opportunities of Columbian with the ball. Almost had them, but almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades as Tiffin Columbian able to punch one in to extend this lead 28-7. And now Norton's found themselves scrambling. Just like Greg talked about on that drive. If Norton's able to stop it there and go into the half, you could take that breath. You can try to have your defense come out at the second half, stop Columbian, and then give yourself a fresh mindset offensively. Because 2 scores, that's a whole heck of a lot different to make up than 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is L.J. Reeves' 2nd touchdown of the night. That gives him 9 on the season, just through 7 games, Tommy. That's just an incredible 2020 campaign for L.J. Reeves, the senior. Xavier Kappas, short kick, fielded at the 30-yard line, and that's where the Panthers will take over.
Xavier Kappas' kick is going to be fielded by number 39.
Well, it doesn't surprise me, guys, that L.J. Reeves has that many touchdowns on the season because do you see the way this kid gets separation there in the end zone? He was wide open to catch that one. He made it look easy.
Well, a lot of that has to do with, translating. I mean, he's an athlete. Those moves from the basketball court tend to translate onto the football field for those wide receivers. I mean, a lot of times you do a little shake and bake move to get past your defender to get to the baseline or get to the goal, get to the basket. That same move can get you open on a football field.
Oh, absolutely. We saw some of that earlier in the drive when he reached for the first down.
Fake the quick pitch, handoff up the middle. I believe that was 44 on the carry. Reed Beto.
Reed Beto on the carry for the Panthers.
Yeah, you talk about that translation, L.J. Reeves coming from the basketball court. The game, they lend themselves to each other in so many ways as far as being able to cut here, cut there, just like you develop your low center of gravity in your hand development on the wrestling mat. So I mean,
Absolutely.
all these different sports lend themselves to each other in development.
That's the end of the first half. Tiffin Columbian takes a 28-7 lead into the locker room. We're going to step aside, take a timeout. We'll be back with the Little Hugo's Ice Cream Halftime Show. You're listening to High School Football Playoff Edition right here on AM 1600, FM 93.3, WTTF, your Seneca County Sports Connection.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Our unique football season is now down to playoffs. We've missed hosting and being hosted by our competitors' schools and bands. We commend all of our directors and dedicated student musicians for their support of musical excellence on the field, concert venues, and parades. Tonight, we present the enthusiastic members of the Columbian High School Marching Band, Flag, and Majorette Squad, numbering 130 dedicated student musicians and marchers on the field. Welcome the pride of 2020, the Tiffin Columbian Tornado Marching Band, Flag, and Majorette Squad. Our band is under the direction of Mr. Michael Meadows and Mr. Christopher Kenny. Our Flag and Majorette Squad are under the direction of Miss Danielle Bluest, assisted by Katie Gillig. We begin our playoff halftime show with a drill. Although our COVID-19 pandemic has limited our ability to drill, tonight we'll drill to a piece that really describes our band spirit as they play Walk to the Moon, Shut Up and Dance. was a favorite of our fans and friends. The women of our flag and majorette squad help us out with our next selection. They love to dance, and so we feature them performing to a 2000 hit that made it to the charts worldwide. The group was the American rock band Blink-182, chosen by Rolling Stone as one of the top 100 greatest pop songs. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Columbian Marching Band, Flag, and Majorette Squad.
Especially not knowing.
Some of your kids ran cross country. I was like, do you actually saying that?
Ladies and gentlemen, a little halftime history for you as we welcome our guest from Norton, Ohio. There is a cool Tiffin Norton connection. Norton is the hometown of F.A. and Charles Seiberling, who went on to found the Goodyear Corporation. And F.A. attended school at Heidelberg for 2 seasons. At halftime, ladies and gentlemen, the Revere Minutemen are still leading the Medina Buckeye Bucks by a score of 14-0.
Another score on the board to retake a 21-point lead. That's where we stand, 28-7. But Tommy, I mean, this has got some. Tiffin Columbian's been putting up some pretty impressive stats, but I think both teams have put together a pretty impressive first half as far as the stat sheet's concerned.
Absolutely, and we talk about points on turnovers being the difference in this one, as Norton, 2 turnovers on the evening, coming off of an interception and a fumble. But, look at it this way. Logan Beeston on fire for this Tornado offense, 10 of 13 for 121 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air. And then you compare that to his counterpart, Rogo, who was 1 for 1 for 7 yards, but able to put a touchdown score where it counts, and that comes off of L.J. Reeves, 1 of 2 touchdowns that he's had here tonight. Adding on that tremendous season he's had, 3 catches for 40 yards, and then just being able to just control the tempo of this one, get out ahead. You got touchdowns by Vasco, L.J. Reeves, Sean Jackson. Just a continuous effort by all accounts.
198 total yards of offense for Tiffin Columbian, 129 for the Norton Panthers. Just 15 of those through the air, though. They've managed to control the run game here tonight with 114 yards on the ground, and they did have a 1-yard scoring plunge for themselves. So, I mean, this is a team that, Tommy, we came into this, we kind of anticipated a rushing attack, a run-heavy attack by the Panthers, and that's what we've seen here tonight. We haven't really seen quarterback Larry Harper air it out a whole lot here, but I think that doesn't really fit with their style of offense. They just want to try to pound it at you. They want to grind it out, and they want to be methodical, and they want to execute. And so far here tonight, there's only been a couple drives where they've really been able to execute their game plan. Other than that, Tiffin Columbian, their defense has really done a nice job of reading keys, finding where the ball is, and locating the ball carrier and stopping the ball carrier.
I think Harper absolutely wanted to see what this Tornado defense would give him vertically. And then Norton changed it up a little bit there in the second quarter, started going more towards that run attack after finding some success, being able to eat up them 3 or 4 chunk yardage plays, give them a lot better down and distance situations, having to convert some short distance third down situations. But again, that bend but do not break mentality of the Tornadoes, forcing 2 turnovers after Norton was driving on them. That's pretty much all the difference here tonight, as Tiffin has themselves a 28-7 lead on Norton, coming out of the locker room here for the last 24 minutes of action here from Frost-Kalnow Stadium.
So we got about 35 seconds before the start of the second half, and the Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes will start out on offense to start the third quarter. Tommy, I tell you, they haven't had a whole lot of resistance by that Panthers defense to start out with. What do they need to do here to try to shut down this Columbian offensive attack? Because they were able to get that 1 3 and out, but other than that, they really haven't had much success.
Well, just when you think you have an answer for this tornado offense, they change the question as, you know, they like to run that RPO. They like to try to put those big chunk yardage plays on you on the ground, and that kind of throws you off rhythm if you're a defense. Again, when you got a team that likes to just attack, and you know, kind of punch you in the mouth, it kind of becomes a groundswell, and that's what Norton can't allow to happen here in the second half. They got to get some big stops early, especially down there in the trenches, and force Columbian into some third and distance situations.
Boy, I tell you, that kicker,
Wow.
he has really impressed me here tonight. Alex Dixon on the kickoff, and he put a leg into that one and put that one into the end zone and through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, a line drive to the end zone.
Yeah, and it didn't have much air on it at all. He just straight line drive that one, and it hit down about the 3-yard line and skipped through the back of the end zone. So to start out the third quarter, we'll see Braden Rogo into the game at the quarterback position. They bring him in motion. Now they settle into the backfield. 2 backs in the backfield. They hand off. Jackson off the left side, but the defense is right there, limiting him to a short gain. If anything, actually, I think he might have lost a yard.
Keyshawn Jackson on the carry. He is going to be hit immediately.
Came up there to try to follow his blockers and just had nowhere to go. No lane either way.
Jackson checks out of the game. 1 back in the backfield. 2 receivers on the far side.
Jason Hippler on the stop there.
Shotgun set. Rogo, 2nd and 11. Fakes the handoff. Now fires deep. Over the middle.
bullet.
Complete. Oh, and he dropped the pass at the 50-yard line. Oh, Maddox Simcoe. Boy, that one had 6 written all over it. Because I'll tell you what, Tommy, he catches that one. He's in stride, and he's going to take that one to the house.
Well, fortunately for the Panthers, 3rd and 11 now on this opening drive out of the half.
3rd and 11. 3 receivers on the near side of the field. Rogo back to pass. Loads it up. Left side. And he's got it. Complete. Out to the 35-yard line and out of bounds. Number 15, Gunther Kissel on the catch. And a first down, Tiffin Columbian up to the 38-yard line.
And that's when that 3rd and long really becomes so important if you're on the defensive line or a linebacker just trying to create that pressure.
Handoff, Belleville reverses field back to the left side. He's got the quarterback has a blocker out in front, but he's stood up by the defense and loses the ball. Norton's going to pull the ball, and they turn it over as Belleville trying to make too much happen there, just unable to secure the ball, and gives it back to the Panthers at the 37-yard line.
Well, the Panthers with a huge momentum swing, now with a chance to turn that momentum into points and get this one back to a manageable ball game. As we talked about going into the half, Tiffin Columbian able to put points off the board by Rago's reception to LJ Reeves before we went to the half. And now Norton, after a disastrous start by the Tornadoes on their opening drive, will have a chance here.
2nd fumble of the game by Belleville. And the first one he lost. Harper gets the pass away. They set up the screen, but oh man, that TC defense read that one and sniffed it out. 2-yard loss back to the 39-yard line.
Pass is complete to number 41, Peyton Gardner.
Peyton Gardner on the reception. 2-yard loss on the play.
LJ Reeves.
LJ Reeves came up and put a lick on the running back there.
I'll tell you this much. The running back definitely had some choice words for Harper when he got back to the huddle.
Didn't do him any favors, that's for sure. Harper under center, turns around, handoff up the middle. They got some blockers out in front. They got it inside the 35, down to around the 33-yard line before he's brought down. Number 41, Peyton Gardner on the carry. Good for about 5, maybe 6 yards.
Be brought down on the play.
Give him 5, 3rd and 6 coming up.
Talk about Tiffin Columbian's third straight playoff appearances. Last 2 seasons, first round exits by the Tornadoes. Looking to actually win one here in the postseason since 2013.
Little trickery there as they get it off the right side, but the defense does an excellent job of reading the keys and shutting that one down. Jackson Harris coming up to make the stop.
And number 1, Brody Conley.
Brody Conley also in on the play. 4th down coming up here for the Panthers. They have it at the 36-yard line.
I'm going to be surprised if we see a field goal here.
You'd almost have to consider it.
4th and 3. I think this is a manageable down for the Norton Panthers. Definitely 4-down territory.
Yeah, I think if it was any more than 4th and 3, I think they might be considering field goal here. But I think they can get this one on offense.
And we're going to get a timeout. Norton going to take a timeout here. We'll keep it right here with 9:04 left to play here in the third quarter. But the Panthers facing a 4th and 4 after the turnover by Tiffin Columbian. Boy, this TC defense could really bail out Seth Belleville right here with a big stop on 4th and 4.
Oh, absolutely. And if you're Norton, how many chances are you going to allow to slip through your fingers as you try to make a big defensive stand before the first half came to an end? Now here's your chance for a little bit of redemption here on offense as, again, you got the ball in enemy territory. Big 4th and 4 down situation.
Got to set the tone here in the second half, guys.
4th down and 4. Harper in the shotgun, takes the snap, looking, loads it up, left to right side, and it is incomplete.
Harper just led the receiver a little bit too far on that one, Nate. That's going to be a turnover.
Not a bad play call, just execution wasn't there.
Nathan Merrill had it past the first down marker. If he'd have come up with that catch, that would have been a first down. But unable to secure that catch, and that's going to turn the ball over on downs back to Tiffin Columbian at the 32-yard line.
Once again, missed opportunity by the Norton Panthers. See if this defense can come up again.
Shotgun set. Beeston back into the game. Handoff. Up the middle, Keyshawn Jackson. And he's got it up to about the 33-yard line, maybe a gain of about 1.
Interior of the Norton defense. Led on the tackle by number 60, Daniel Hopkins.
Daniel Hopkins in on the stop. 6-foot linebacker.
Rogo back to pass, loads up right side, complete. Ooh. Receiver reverses field and cuts it up and picks up another 8 yards after the catch. Good up to the 49-yard line.
Who was that on the reception?
I believe that was Maddox Simpson. No.
Number 11, Maddox Simpson.
Yeah, it was Simcoe.
Yep, you're right, Nate.
Well, you tell by that little stutter step he took. Juked the defenders out of his shoes.
Rogo fakes the handoff, now gets it away over the middle. It's complete. He's got it down to the 30-yard line. Brody Conley on the reception.
Beautiful pass there, guys.
And they get it up. They get up to the line. They quickly get the offense set, and they're ready to call the next play. They get the offense up there. Rogo, handoff, left side. Jackson carries it into the open, down to the 15, breaks a couple of tackles, down to the 13, all the way down to the 12-yard line. Keyshawn Jackson with another big run. Give him 18 on the carry, and they're right back up to the line, ready to do the next play. 2 receivers on the far side. Rogo in the shotgun. Right side, and they drop the pass.
Rogo's pass intended for number 11.
Maddox Simcoe, the intended receiver. He's had a couple of drops here tonight. Dropped that big one there at the beginning of the third quarter that probably could have went for 6. Now 2nd and 10. Rogo. He missed man miss, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Bryce Rogo on the reception and touchdown from brother to brother.
A little brotherly love. On there. next six.
Must have family inside. Instead of Rogo Brothers interrupted.
Rogo to Bryce Rogo. 4-6. And the extra point is up, and it is good. That makes your score 35-7. 7:49 left to play here in the third quarter. And that TC offense made work of that drive.
Well, how about that TC defense, too, there, Nate? Coming out
Yes.
after that turnover, stopping Norton Panthers, getting the ball back to TC's offense, and then letting them do their job down here.
You know, Greg, you make a great point with that. I kind of talk about that touchdown there, that just being an exclamation mark on the Tiffin Columbian effort, as you saw the missed opportunity, the chances that Norton has had to really turn this ball game around, make it a very competitive, and get it back to an even-keel game. But Tiffin Columbian, when presented with that opportunity, not just allowing opportunity to knock, but kicking down the door, if you will. And it's just nonstop here for the Tornadoes as they continue to pour it on. 35-7 with 7:49 remaining here in the third quarter.
Once again, stick around for the postgame show brought to you by Frozone Frozen Yogurt. We'll break down tonight's game, get you set for tomorrow afternoon, live right here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium, as we're here for tomorrow's Region 26 Division 7 second-round playoff matchup between Tiffin Calvert and Convoy Crestview. Once again, that's a 1:30 kickoff. Short kick fielded at the 15 to the 20, 25, up to the 30-yard line, and he'll carry some defenders up to about the 34-yard line before he's brought down on the return. Dominic Graham on the return for Norton. And the Panthers will start out at their own 34-yard line. 7:42 left to play here in the third quarter. Columbian jumps out to a 35-7 lead as they take their second offensive possession of the second half and drive it down the field and punch it in for 6.
And that's exactly what they're needed here, guys. Keep their foot on the gas. You don't let up in these playoff games.
Absolutely. Fake the handoff over the middle. Harper, it's incomplete as they were looking for number 2, Jason Hippler.
Trying for a really quick pass there. That was intended for number 6 there, Nate. Yeah.
Dominic Graham on the intended receiver there. 2, 6, they all look the same to me.
I'm standing right down here, and I'm still having a hard time reading it, so don't blame me at all.
I just wish that athletic coaches around the Ohio area would understand the meaning of contrast. Just understand that, yes, they look cool up close, but they need a contrast.
Oh,
You need to have some dark colors
play a game, guys.
on some light colors and light colors on dark colors. And we got a penalty against Norton.
Dead ball.
To do it.
False start, snap infraction on the Norton
Snap
Panthers.
infraction. I thought it was a delay of game there because the play clock ran out, but snap infraction, whatever.
Well, they brought a receiver in motion, and then right after they brought him in motion, play the other end of the field too. Harper fakes it to the left, now gets it away, and it's picked off. Nearly. Wow, that was a heck of a sequence of events there as TC nearly picked it off. Then it was stripped away and nearly caught by the Panthers right around the 26-yard line, but it falls to the turf incomplete.
That's a heads-up play by the Panthers receiver there to
Yes.
be all over that ball.
Absolutely, because that looked like it was an interception. So 3rd down and 15. Ball will be marked at the 29-yard line. Shotgun set, 2 receivers on each side of the field. Harper, pump fake, now gets rid of it. It floats up into the air.
Wow.
Yeah, he was hit right as he got rid of the ball.
Larry Harper
And
on the play.
ball floated up in the air, and it's going to fall to the turf incomplete. That should bring out the punt unit.
That'll bring up a down.
Took a heck of a hit there.
Oh,
I'm kind of favoring his arm there.
As a defensive player, that one tackle, that one hit that you want to put on that quarterback is when you see that arm start to move back and you can get right underneath that armpit, right in that rib cage. That's always a good thing.
Another block on a punt. They got 2 block punts here tonight. Outstanding special teams play by the TC unit as they get the ball back at the 36-yard line. That's where the offense will take over. 2 punts for Norton, 2 blocks for that special teams unit.
I'm going to guess that the coach out there whose headset just got bumped off his head is the special teams coordinator, guys. He was really excited out there.
Well, it definitely wasn't Judd. I don't know if he can get up that high anymore.
Oh, you wait till he hears that one time.
So TC takes over at the Panther 36-yard line. They bring him in motion. Beeston into the game. Handoff.
Oh, man.
Left side. Jackson carries it forward.
Keyshawn Jackson on the carry.
Up to the 29-yard
Conley.
line. That's Brody Conley, actually. Bruiser Brody Conley on the carry.
You can't tell by just the way he just ran there.
The explosiveness when he took the ball looked just like Keyshawn Jackson.
They're fired up down here on the sideline. I can tell you that.
Absolutely. They bring him in motion. Jackson Harris settles into the shotgun. They hand the ball. Harris breaks the tackle. Carries it forward. And I believe he does have just enough to pick up the first down.
Garrett
See where they
Chester,
mark it.
offensive lineman there, number 75,
I think they're going to say he's just short, guys.
trying to give a little bit of the extra effort, a little bit of the bush push.
Oh, now it looks like they're moving the chains.
And the bush push is going to be good to move the change.
Yeah, they got to wait for them to move the chains to get them set here.
1st and 10. Ball at the 26-yard line. Beeston over the middle.
Just foul.
Complete. Threads the needle and gets it in there to his receiver down to the 14-yard line.
That just right past.
Beeston to the far sideline. Saw Simcoe over the middle. That's just lasered it through there.
Beeston. And left side. Jackson carries it forward to about the 10-yard line.
I think it's Conley again, guys.
And once again, Brody Conley on the carry. Apologize for the missed calls there, folks. So these numbers are just impossible to read.
Yeah, I want to
No, I appreciate it because I want to get it right.
Conley took another year with this young man. Already a Cornell commit.
Hey, man, Keyshawn Jackson. Logan into the end zone. Incomplete. Nice coverage there.
Wow. Almost able to catch that one behind the defender, guys.
LJ Reeves, the intended corner of the end zone. Number 38, John Osler, with great coverage down there to prevent that touchdown.
I think they're in into it, but down here at the end of the end zone.
Third down and 6. They need to get it down to the 3-yard line to convert the first. 2 backs in the backfield. They bring a man in motion. Now they whip it out right side to the motion man.
Oh,
and
the block just wasn't there.
Excellent read there by the Panther defense. They were all over that one.
Most of it was number 9 on the offense.
Cyrus Burden on the reception.
Play just was about a second behind as the man coming out there at the able to get the edge inside, make the stop, brings up 4th and 5.
So Xavier Coppice on to the field goal, which would give the Tornadoes a 38-7 lead, and that would trigger the running clock here. So Coppice on for a 25 field goal. And the kick is up, and the field goal is field goal from Xavier Coppice, and that makes your score 38-7.
Norton, 7.
Well, as Xavier Coppice
Ladies and gentlemen, this game will now be
kicks that one into the parking lot. Any of those dings they might get from tonight's game can be easily buffed out or repaired over at Coppice Motors or Reineke Tiffin Ford. One of the many automotive sponsors that help bring high school football to you each and every week right here on WTTF.
So another big drive there by Tiffin Columbian puts them up by 31, and that will start the running clock as we have 5 minutes and 13 seconds left here in the third quarter, and now Norton facing two opponents for the rest of this one.
Well, like we talked about before, guys, when you're a run-first team, the clock is not your friend when you're behind.
Absolutely. And that's, I learned that lesson the hard way with the Eagles the other night. We were playing in that youth football championship game. We got a pretty good offense for eating up clock, but that's not what you want to do when you're down.
Norton's going to have to pull something out of the bag of tricks here to try to come back in this one.
Going to have to open things up for sure, but I'll tell you, Tiffin Columbian, with this SBC Lake Division, they've seen a lot of different styles of offense, and they're prepared for a lot. Seen a lot of different looks. This defense has done a great job of stopping a lot of different teams this year. Return man fields it at the 5, up to the 25.
It's going to be a good return here.
To the 35 and brought down at about the 38-yard line.
Whoa. Got some extracurriculars over here, guys. Oh, there's the flag.
Big number 2.
There's another one.
As he's trying to make his way out of a crowd of Tiffin Columbian defender sideline players here. He was shoving he was blocking somebody, but he blocked him all the way into the Tiffin Columbian bench and well into the bench, almost over to the bench. I mean, that's a good 5,
really
6, 7 yards out of bounds. And, as he's trying to make his way through a crowd of Tiffin Columbian players there on the sideline, a little bit pushing and shoving there.
Well, we got a couple of flags down here, and the referees are talking, so I wonder if we're going to see one on
I think it's going to be offsetting. It's probably going to be against both teams.
Let's see what they say here. Well, they're still conferring, guys.
Well, no love lost between these two teams, but you want to say something right, say it right with Rogers Flowers, one of our proud sponsors here to help bring high school football to you each and every week right here on WTTF. Here in the playoffs for this Division III Region 10 matchup between the Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes and the Norton Panthers.
You're absolutely right there, Tommy, but I don't think either one of these guys are trying to give each other flowers out here, that's for sure. No love lost down here tonight. You would think these were rivalry teams.
Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes, they're looking to send flowers to the end of this Panthers season.
Well, Tommy, tomorrow is Sweetest Day, so
advance here.
See what they say here, guys.
Personal foul against Tiffin Columbian and personal foul against Norton. Both those penalties will offset. Yep. So both teams called for the personal foul.
We have 2 penalties on the play.
Well, Nate, like you said, with
Personal foul, number 50 on Gray.
Gunther Kissel called for the personal foul.
On White, those calls are offset.
And they called it on 0 on White, but I don't have a 0.
Number 2 on White.
Okay, 2 on White. Yep. So that's Hippler, the man who was the guilty party who blocked him into the bench.
Well, Nate, as you mentioned, tomorrow being Sweetest Day, it's going to be the sweetest day here on WTTF as we bring you high school football action once again for a 1:30 kickoff between Tiffin Calvert.
They fake the handoff. Harper trying to set up the screen, and it's just not going to happen as that defense was all over it. Nearly picking that one off. Number 30, Braden Tucker, nearly got a hold of that one. And I'll tell you, if he would have picked that one off, he'd have taken that one to the house.
Number 30, Braden Tucker.
Had him licking his fingertips out there, guys.
So good. 4:15 left to play here in the third quarter. Columbian leading 38-7 over Norton. Turn around, hand the ball off. Harper.
Look at Harper.
Nathan Merrill on the carry.
Jackson Harris able to stop that one before he's able to go for more, but it's enough to move the chains for the Panthers.
14-yard gain there by Merrill. And that's good for a fresh set of downs for the Panthers. 3:35 left to play.
You play this game in phases, and again, normally you try to play to win the quarter, but for this Norton Panther team, with all the obstacles in their way, they got to get down and score quick just to stop this running clock and then go back to work.
They fake the pitch, hand off to the up man, And he's got it inside the 45, down to the 44-yard line.
Peyton Gardner on the carry.
About a 3-yard gain.
Brought down by number 42, Kayshawn Hatley.
Peyton Gardner on the carry for
Gain of 3 on the play.
Norton. Down to 3 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
And I still don't see any urgency by Norton here, guys.
Well, I
They're
think
still staying with their game plan.
I was going to say, I think the biggest thing you're seeing out there, Greg, is Tiffin Columbian's ability to adjust at the half and being able to shut down those inside plays and those screens that were able to affect them earlier as a handoff up the middle.
Nathan Merrill on the carry.
Nathan Merrill on the carry.
Gets it up to about the 40-yard
Brought
line.
down the play by number 30, Tucker.
Should be good enough. Should be about 3rd and 3 now.
Brody Conley also in on the tackle for the Tornadoes.
Third and 3. Handoff to the up man. He carries it forward, and he's going to be close to the first down, but I don't think he got it. Up to about the 38. Peyton Gardner on the carry.
Down near the first down mark, but just short. He's going to be stopped by the interior of the Tornado defense. We'll bring up a 4th down and 1. Ball be spotted at the 38-yard line.
Got about a yard to go, guys.
See Sawyer Herdlick brought in for this big 4th down play.
And it looks like they might have the first down. They should have it up to the 36-yard line.
I think they're going to give him forward progression there, guys.
That is going to be good for a Panther first down. Wrapped up by number 54, Sawyer Herdlick, amongst others.
Well, Herdlick in on the stop. They're really trying to plug up that middle so they could have got it on that 4th down as Harper hands it off.
Michael Green on the carry.
Yep, man, Michael Green.
He is going to
Looks
be
like
brought down
he
the
gets
play.
about 5 yards on the play, Nate.
Drew Bowden.
I'll tell you what, Green, in the short time, a few times that we've seen him, he's looked pretty good here tonight.
Game 6 on that last play.
That was a gain of 6.
Now up to the line once again. Jumbo set. A wing T look. They hand it off. And it's going to be up to about the 29, but that's about it.
He stopped on the play by number 1, Brody Conley. And number
Of course,
70,
the
Declan
winner of
Ford.
tonight goes on to face the winner of the Medina Buckeye and Richfield Revere matchup, which right now Revere leading 14-0 in the fourth quarter. Third down and 3. Harper,
Again.
handoff. Up the middle, and I think he might have the first down up to about the 26-yard line. Nice plunge there.
Just enough, guys.
I bet on the pitch. Follow that play down here.
And that will be the end of the third quarter.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is
Tiffin Columbian holding on to a 38-7 lead as we step aside and take a timeout. We'll be back to wrap things up with an exciting fourth quarter of action from Frost-Kalnow Stadium. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're listening to High School Football Playoff Edition right here on WTTF, AM 1600 and FM 93.3.
Fostoria Pizza Palace, Napoli Pizza, AJ's Heavenly Pizza, Heritage IGA, Wendy's, Bob Evans Restaurant, GW's Fine Food and Spirits, Ironwood Steakhouse, Madison Street Tavern, and Tiffin Paper Company. Thank you for your support. Seth Finnegan on the carry. He's going to be brought down the play by number 1, Brody Conley. Pick up of 3 on the play. Correction, pick up of 4 on the last run.
Here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium, we start the fourth quarter of action. as the Panthers have it on 2nd and 7. Handoff right
Green.
side. And not a whole lot doing there as Nathan Merrill on the carry carries it forward for maybe a couple yards. Give him about 3 up to about the 19. And that will be short by about 3 yards of the first down. 3rd and 3 coming up. Down to 11:05 left to play here in the ball game. Columbian leading 38-7. The winner of tonight's matchup goes on to face the winner of the Medina Buckeye and Richfield Revere matchup.
Wow. Wow, guys.
16
able
on
to
the
cut
carry.
it up.
Seth Finnegan.
He was met in the backfield, but ended up breaking away from that and got a few extra yards out of that.
Well, second chance yards, Greg. That's why you always want to keep your feet moving.
I tell
Should
you,
have been.
I'm surprised he wasn't brought down in the backfield the way he was met.
Oh,
by the
absolutely.
TC defense.
There was more than one defender there to make the stop, that's for sure. But Finnegan would not be stopped. Carried that pile forward for a couple of yards. 4th and 2 coming up here for Norton. 10:15 left to play in the ball game. Harper. Quick pitch left side, and it looks like they got the first down inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Once again, guys, just enough to get that first down. That's all you need, though.
Peyton Gardner, actually no, Reed Beto on the carry.
He's going to knife his way forward for a Norton Panthers first down. Ball will be spotted at the 14-yard line.
It's a guessing game as to who actually carried the ball.
Gain of 4 on that last.
They got 41, right, or 44?
41's been carrying a lot tonight, so.
Beto was the carrier there.
And
Now
Columbian
they
there to
hand
meet him.
off once again.
Wow.
Pick up a 4 on the last play.
And again, you think they pitched it out. They handed up inside. Back as it come through.
He's going to be brought down the play by number 1.
Reed Beto once again on the carry, good for about 4 yards. Wing T set here. They turn around, hand the ball off. Beto on the carry, and not a whole lot doing there as he gets it up maybe the 9-yard line.
44 that time, Nate.
Yep, Reed Beto on the carry, good for about maybe a yard. 3rd down and 5 coming up. Inside of 9 minutes left to play here. We've got 8:45 on the 4th quarter clock. This Columbian Tornadoes team trying to secure the victory and give Judd Lutz his first playoff victory as a head coach here at Tiffin Columbian.
First playoff victory for this Tornado squad since 2013.
Handoff off the right side.
Got some laundry on the field here, guys.
Maybe a yard or two up to about the 6, maybe the 7-yard line, but it looks like we're going to get a face mask called.
I think that's what it's going to be.
It will be a face mask called against Tiffin Columbian. And last time Tiffin was able to come away with a playoff victory, Brian Calatrulio was a coach here. Of course, Calatrulio coaching the Hopewell Loudon Chieftains now. And they're in action tonight. Let's check in on them. Revere actually now taking a 21-0 lead over Medina Buckeye in the 4th quarter. So that'll be the matchup for next week if they're able to come away with a victory.
Yeah, I think back then I was down there on the sideline with my pen and paper.
And that's going to be a first down run there.
Have it.
First down yardage should be forward progress up to about the 3-yard line. Reed Beto on the carry.
Appears to have the yardage necessary for first down.
The score stream at halftime, the score was 28-6 Hopewell Loudon over Patrick Henry. Whoa. At halftime. Mohawk leading Pandora Gilboa 20-14 in the 4th quarter. Handoff. Right side, nothing doing there. That defense is all over that one.
I believe it was 16.
Stack him up at the 4-yard line.
Pandora Gilboa Mohawk game. That's going to be interesting because Lima Central Catholic, the number 1 seed, was scheduled to play Delphus tonight, but due to COVID-19 concerns, Delphus forfeited that matchup, giving Lima Central another bye. So the winner of Lima Central.
Stopped once again by that TC defense. No gain on the play. 3rd down and goal coming up at the 4. Of course, once again, we'll be here tomorrow for Tiffin Calvert versus Convoy Crestview.
Convoy.
This makes it sound like a big team, doesn't it, guys?
Yeah. In non-playoff action, Lakota leading Riverdale 40-0. Margaretta over Willard right now, 27-6. And Bay leading 24-21. Out right side, incomplete. Number 44, the intended receiver, Reed Beto.
Tremendous coverage by Jackson Harris.
Jackson Harris on the coverage.
Tommy, if you're coaching staff, would you trot out the field goal unit here and stop this running clock? Would you pull the old Cincinnati? Did you see where that Baltimore defensive coordinator was all mad because Zach Taylor kicked a field goal and they were down 27-0 at the end of the game. It was only 30 seconds left. They kicked a field goal just so they wouldn't get shut out. Baltimore's defensive coordinator was so mad about it. He's yelling across the field at him. Timeout, Tiffin, or actually Norton's going to take a timeout so they can talk this over. 4th and 3, 4th and 4, 4th and goal from the 4-yard line. So, but yeah,
I think that's what they're discussing, Nate.
Yeah,
exactly
Tommy,
what we talked about.
If you come out and kick a field goal, you put an end to that running clock.
I mean, until that clock hits 00, the game's not over. But at the same time, again, you know, that big 4th down call, that's either, you know, going for it, trying to get yourself in it, maybe. But if you go with the safe bet and go with the field goal, then like you talked about, it stops that running clock. But then you're tasked with the defense to stop that tornado offense and get your guys back on there to try to.
I guess the question is, how many points do you really want here, guys? Do you want the field goal or do you want the touchdown for pride?
I think you want the pride. The field goal ain't gonna do you no good in the final stand.
Looks like they're going for a play here, guys.
Exactly. Harper under center. They bring a man in motion. They fake the handoff. They pass it into the end zone, and they bring it down for the touchdown.
That touchdown. Touchdown should stand. I think they're gonna call interference on the Tornadoes.
It should be good for the touchdown, as I believe. Yep, that's going to be the call. Pass interference against Tiffin Columbian.
Well, hold on a minute here, guys. The refs are discussing an awful lot for already knowing what the call would be. Let's see what they say here. They're almost acting like the pass was incomplete. I'm not really sure why.
4:39 left.
Let's see. They're going to go over and explain it to the coaches, I think. So this will be an interesting one.
Yeah, this is kind of
if they have to,
quite a bit of talking for something that should pretty much be pretty easy to decide here.
Pass interference on the defense.
I think maybe they were asking them about what the assessment would be after the penalty.
Yeah, it'll be enforced on the kickoff.
We'll figure that out when the play's done.
Right. after the conversion here.
So on to attempt the extra point, Alex Dixon for the Norton Panthers. Bad snap, but they get it down, but it's blocked. Another block by that special teams unit. They've got 2 punt blocks and an extra point blocked here tonight. Boy, I tell you what, that special teams unit, they might take home the game ball if I'm the coach.
Oh, Matumbo finger wave as special teams does its job.
38-13 is your score. 4:39 left to play here in the ball game. And now this Tiffin Columbian offense gets a chance to take over here. Do you think Norton would try the onside kick here, Tommy? I mean, I think you should, right?
You almost had to.
Well, that just depends. I mean, if you're conceding, then you just kick it off. But
Well, we got to pretend that everybody's in the game till the last second, Nate. So
yeah,
we
well,
got to pretend, right?
Extra point was blocked by.
I'll tell you this much: I've seen stranger things happen.
Oh,
Talk about that Clyde Tiffin Columbian game from a year ago. That one decided by 21 points in the last 2 minutes.
Alex Dixon to kick off for the Panthers.
Yeah, anything can happen, but you would think that they'd want to have that ball with 4 minutes and 39 seconds left in the game. And you're already getting to move the ball up here on the kickoff, so it's a perfect opportunity to go for that short kick.
So 4:39 left to play here in the ball game. Norton on to kick off. Let's see if they try for the onside. Nope, they're just going to kick this one deep and out of bounds. Actually, no, that went out of the end zone.
Yeah, it went out of the end zone. The fan standing
Curved it inside the pylon and got that one to go out of the end zone for the touchback. So impressive there by the kicker.
It's another line drive right through the end zone there, Nate.
For touchback.
And if you're Columbian's offense here, you've got the chance to just run this game out, put it away, go home with the victory. 4 minutes to wear down here, guys.
Yeah, you're definitely just going to go out there and run your offense.
Handoff, Jackson. Up the middle, off right side. He's got some running room, and he's got the first down up inside the 30, down to about the 31-yard line.
Broke a couple tackles and then pushed the pile a few more yards.
I would say before he's brought down, but they didn't even bring him down.
Nope.
Jackson refuses to go down. And forward momentum spots the ball at the 32-yard line. .4:15 left to play. Columbian very deliberate in getting the play in. 5 seconds left on the play clock. Beeston takes the snap, turns around, handoff, Jackson. Got some
Oh, my goodness.
and he's into the open. 45, 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Tiffin Columbian.
He gone.
Keyshawn Jackson.
is going to take that one
A 68-yard touchdown run. And Jackson found the seam and was gone. Wow. That was lightning quick right there.
You aren't kidding, guys. Nobody was catching him once he got through that second level.
Alex Simcoe to hold.
Yeah, just ran that one right up the gut. Then turns on the jets.
.44-13, Tiffin Columbian. 3:51 left to play in the ball game. Xavier Kappas on to attempt the extra point. It's up and it's good. Tiffin Columbian takes a 45-13 lead over the Norton Panthers here in this Region 10 Division III playoff matchup.
And that restarts the running clock, doesn't it,
I'll
guys?
tell you this much. In all my years of football, and covering football, and anything associated with on the high school level, I've never seen more high-scoring playoff games than I've seen this year. I mean, 45-13 right now in the fourth quarter, 3:51 remaining, and this is a playoff matchup.
Well, I think this year will go down in history, that's for sure, Tommy.
A lot of history being made this year. I mean, these Norton Panthers haven't qualified for the playoffs since 1997. And here they are. They got their first playoff win in over 20 years this last week against Sandusky. So you got to think, I mean, obviously, Tommy, they want to win, but they got to be happy just to be here. Being able to play this game here tonight at Frost-Kalnow Stadium, I mean, you can't find much of a better venue for football in this area. But
being
in that
happy
Cleveland area, and there's not many venues like this in that area either.
Well, being happy to be there doesn't get you the hardware at the end of the day.
You're absolutely right.
And this Tiffin Columbian squad, man, they have really just laid it on here.
Xavier Kappas to kickoff.
About as good a 48 minutes of action as I've seen out of these Tornadoes, especially in the postseason.
Coppice gets his leg into this one. And it's going to hit the pylon. And the return man,
Just laid him
I'll
down.
tell you what, that was something else. It hit down at about the 5-yard line and literally hit the left pylon in the front of the end zone and dropped dead right there. I mean, I don't even think that was a touchback. The return man had to pick it up and down it in the end zone. That's pretty crazy. Just another reminder, we'll be here tomorrow afternoon for Tiffin Calvert versus Convoy Crestview. And that Region 26 matchup. Speaking of Region 26, Mohawk now takes a 26-14 lead over the Pandora Gilboa Rockets.
Mohawk had an impressive outing last week, Nate.
I'll tell you what, wouldn't it be something if Calvert and Mohawk ended up in the regional final in that region? That'd be a storybook matchup that we couldn't script.
Corey Meadow on the carry.
We're talking about these storybook moments. Again, Tiffin Columbian, 2 minutes and 50 seconds away from, we talked about top of the pregame, Nate, checking off those boxes. And Tiffin Columbian under Coach Judd Lutz, I think going to be able to get their first playoff win in the books and check that box.
2:30 left to play in the ball game. Handoff, left side. And number 36, Lucas Dobbins on the carry. He carries it forward.
Lucas Dobbins on the carry.
Down to about the 32-yard line.
On the play by number 53, Jordan Stansberry.
Yeah, I think not just both of these teams making a second half adjustment. What about up here in the press box? We got some of these guys over here at the scoreboard, shouting out these numbers and getting a good look at who these players are so we can communicate down there a little bit better.
Absolutely. Handoff. Number 27, Cooper Nipuelio. I think that's how you say that.
On the carry
Cooper
for the Panthers.
Nipuelio. Nipuelio.
Sounds good to me, Nate.
He's
Yep.
brought down the play by number 13,
Nipuelio.
Isaiah Kelly.
Second down and 8. 1:25 left to play in the ball game. Quick pitch, right side. And short gain, maybe a yard, if that. Up to about the 35, maybe the 36-yard line.
Short game of play.
Third down coming up here.
He's going to be brought down
A
the play
little
by
bit
number
of
60,
substitution
Dalton
here
Davis
in
on Southern.
the Tornadoes.
I'll tell you what, Tommy. You know what's really nice about this? We'll be back here again next Friday.
Yeah, but one of the things about that Region 10 is that Tiffin Columbian is the number 1 seed. And
That's crazy.
And as part of that, if you aren't familiar, whoever carries that higher seed throughout the playoff, they're going to get home field advantage throughout. So, I mean, you very well,
that regional final.
you very well may see these Tornadoes back here at Frost-Kalnow all the way up to that regional matchup.
Yep. So 4th down and 1. Panthers come out, 20 seconds left in the ball game. Turn around, hand off up the middle. They got the first down. And they break a couple tackles, get it down to about the 46-yard line before they're brought down there. And that should be the last play of the ball game. And that will be the first win, playoff win, in the Judd Lutz Tiffin Columbian era. First playoff win for Tiffin Columbian since 2013. 45-13, your final score. Tiffin Columbian taking it to the Norton Panthers here tonight in this Division III Region 10 playoff matchup. We're going to step aside, take a timeout. We'll be back with the Frozone Frozen Yogurt postgame show right after this. You're listening to High School Football Playoff Edition right here on AM 1600, FM 93.3, WTTF.
Please direct your attention to the end zone for the singing of our alma mater.
Stadium. You're listening to the Frozone Frozen Yogurt postgame show. Tiffin Columbian taking care of business and moving on in the OHSAA playoffs after dispatching Norton by a final score of 45-13. Nate Mullins here in the press box with Tommy Hall. We've got Greg Kinn down on the field, hopefully able to get a post-game interview with Coach Judd Lutz. But until then, we're going to go ahead and thank our sponsors. We're going to take some time to thank our pregame show sponsor, UIS Insurance and Investments, our halftime show sponsor, Little Hugo's Ice Cream, and you're listening to the Frozone Frozen Yogurt postgame show. Thanks to Chris Schiefer Insurance, Coppice Motors, Dundor Plumbing and Heating, Financial Design Insurance Agency, First Bank of Tiffin, Fort Ball Pizza Palace, Great Lakes Ace Hardware, Harrison Price Insurance, Integrated Orthopedics, Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, Lee's Floor Covering, Kibler Shoes, Kuhn Sales and Service, NWO Orthopedics, Phillips Electric, Reineke Tiffin Ford, Rogers Flowers, Superior Credit Union, Tiffin Brake and Wheel, Tiffin Deluxe Services, Tiffin University, and Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. We're going to step aside, take our final time out of the Frozone Frozen Yogurt postgame show. We'll come back and hopefully get an on-field interview with Tiffin Columbian head football coach Judd Lutz as Greg Kinn is down there waiting patiently after the post-game breakdown. We'll step aside, take a time out. We'll be back after this. You're listening to high school football right here on WTTF. At Frost-Kalnow Stadium, you're listening to the Frozone Frozen Yogurt postgame show. Nate Mullins, Tommy Hall up here in the press box. We've got Greg Kinn down on the field with head coach Judd Lutz. We'll step aside down to the field with Greg. We'll send it down there. Greg, go ahead, take it away.
Well, Coach, congratulations on Columbian's first playoff win since 2013. Your first playoff win as a head coach. You guys came out, you started fast, you hit them hard, you kept going, you never let off the gas. Was that the game plan coming into this?
Yeah, obviously we've done a pretty good job the last couple weeks of, emphasizing tempo and playing really fast on offense. And, even when there's not success necessarily, you can't slow down, got to go fast because we got a tremendous amount of depth and speed on that side of the ball and really on the defensive side as well. So I thought the kids, really from the get-go had the pedal down and executed at a really high level, even though, we do execute things at a really fast pace and get lined up and run it. We weren't perfect by any means, but obviously there was a lot of stuff that was done really well.
All right, Coach, and how would you get your team ready for next week heading into unfamiliar territory of the round 2 of playoffs here? Well, it'll be round 3, but it'll be your round 2.
Yeah, obviously it's another game, another opportunity for us to prepare. It'll be a newer opponent, because we haven't seen this, either of these next teams since I've been here a number of years. So we'll go to work. It's going to be some significant film watching by a number of people over the weekend, and put together a great game plan because of the great coaches we have, and I know the kids will be ready to go.
All right, Coach, congratulations again. I'll let you go celebrate this victory. Good job.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, that was Greg Kinn down on the field with Tiffin Columbian head football coach Judd Lutz. Tommy, another thrilling matchup here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium, and the first time that you and I have been able to call a Tiffin Columbian playoff victory. Feels good, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as somebody that's grown up here my entire life, one of those things that always preached to you is that TC tradition, and to get a little bit of piece of that back. I mean, it just proves that TC football is back in Tiffin, Ohio, and that's what you love to see. And I'm just grateful to be on the call and witness this. And congratulations to Coach Judd Lutz checking off another box as head coach of the Tornadoes. And let's hope the Tornadoes are able to continue to check more boxes as they move on here in the playoffs.
And we got some stats here for you. We'll go ahead and go through that. We're going to go run through the scoring plays there, Tommy.
Of course, we set the tempo there after Logan Beeston was able to find L.J. Reeves for 13 yards. Then after that, Keshawn Jackson runs in for a 43-yard scamper. Put him up 14-0. Then Braden Rago pass complete to Drew Vasco for 7 yards and a touchdown, put the Tornadoes on top 21-0. And then after that, finally Norton was able to answer back, get some points on the board, but Logan Beeston, that little momentum was short-lived as Beeston was able to find another pass to L.J. Reeves for a touchdown. Then fast forward to that second half of action, more of the same. This time, the brotherly love, the brother connection, Braden Rago completes a pass to number 16, Bryce Rago, for 12 yards and a touchdown. Puts Tiffin Columbian up 35-7. 25-yard field goal by Xavier Compass extends that lead 38-7. Then again, Keshawn Jackson puts the feather in the cap for the Tornadoes and then helps advance this Tornado squad with a 68-yard scamper for a touchdown, and Tiffin Columbian able to come out 45-13.
And, 397 yards of total offense from Tiffin Columbian tonight, 211 through the air, 186 yards on the ground. And I'll tell you what, they did a very good job of limiting their turnovers. They finished the season +6 tonight, in that margin as well. So, they just take care of the football. That's what they've done all year. Looking at passing stats, Logan Beeston, 12 of 16, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns. Braden Rogo, 5 of 7, 75 yards, and 2 touchdowns as well. Wow. And then Keshawn Jackson, boy, you can't say enough about this kid and the impact he had tonight. 13 carries, 164 yards, 2 touchdowns. That is almost 13 yards a carry.
That's a playoff game?
Wow.
That's a playoff performance by young Jackson.
Good Lord. And then some receiving stats here. We had Gunther Kissel, 3 catches, 53 yards. Maddox Simcoe had 3 catches for 41 yards. L.J. Reeves, 3 catches, 40 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Brett Minnick had 3 catches for 28 yards. And then Brody Conley, Bryce Rogo, Keshawn Jackson, Drew Vasco, and Cyrus Burden all finishing with 1 catch for the evening. So they did a good job of spreading the ball around to their different receivers. You look at that, Tommy, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different receivers out there tonight. So they didn't just target one guy, which, if you look at the film, you look at this team, they don't just target one guy. Obviously, L.J. Reeves is kind of that big play receiver they look to when they need a big play, but it's not like they're forcing the ball to him, Tommy. They do a great job of letting the game plan come to them, watching what the defense is giving them, and then taking advantage of what they see on the field. And I think they did a great job of that tonight.
Yeah, I think as this Columbian squad continues to develop and roll on here through the playoffs, I think this offense has been as well-tuned as I've seen. There's a couple situations defensively that the Tornadoes are able to try to work on in here while they get ready for their next opponent. But, just those little things, tightening up those third down conversions defensively, and also just being a little more disciplined with those mental miscues. Other than that, I mean, these Tornadoes, they played the heck of a 48-minute game, and, as the scoreboard showed you, both sides of the ball came out and performed here tonight.
This is one stat that really stood out to me. I want to thank Don Cook for sending me these stats during the game, for his contributions to this broadcast, because he really helped us out. Next level stats here. Thanks once again to Don Cook. But this one really stood out to me, rushing attempts. This Norton attack, we knew they were going to come in it tonight, and they were going to try to control the tempo and try to keep that Columbian offense off the field. Well, they had 52 rushing attempts for 198 yards, but Tommy, that only equates to just under 4 yards a carry. And Tiffin Columbian, 20 carries for 186 yards, almost 10 yards a pop. That's eye-glaring. That's something that just pops out at you on the stat sheet. And I think that's a big reason why we're here. I mean, yeah, they were able to run the ball, but it took them a lot of tries and a lot of pounding and a lot of beating in order to get those yards.
Well, having that short week on film, especially here in the playoffs when you're playing unfamiliar opponents, it tears a defensive coordinator's hair white to see this Columbian squad on film, because they just have so many different looks that they throw at you. And it's going to be exciting to see where the Tornadoes end up in this 2020 campaign.
All right, well, once again, your final score, Tiffin Columbian 45, Norton 13. I want to remind all of our listeners, tune in tomorrow as we bring you more high school football playoff action as Tiffin Calvert plays host to Convoy Crestview right here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. That's a 1:30 kickoff, so tune in right around 1 o'clock for the pregame show. All right, guys, final thoughts. We'll first start with you, Greg. Any final thoughts before we wrap things up?
Well, we just talked about the stats there, and I guess I would say there's a big difference between, being able to run the ball and controlling the game, because obviously Norton was able to run the ball, but not until they'd already given up 2 scores, so the game was already out of their control. And for TC, this was the most complete game that I've seen from them, especially in a playoff game, to control from start to finish. It was just a great game to watch tonight.
I tell you, for the last 2 years, the one thing that I've seen out of this Tiffin Columbian team when they start out with that first playoff game is they start out where it almost feels like they're trying to do too much. There was only 1 point in tonight's game where it really felt like that, and it was the beginning of the third quarter when Belleville kind of turned it over on that one play. Just felt like he was just trying to do too much, trying to take it on himself. But for the most part, you didn't see that here tonight, and that's what I saw in the first couple times that we watched this team in the playoffs the last 2 years. Is that first game, they just kind of felt like they were pressing and felt like they were trying too hard to make it happen. They wanted it too much, if that's even possible. But, I mean, tonight, it just felt like I said, they let the game plan come to them. They let the defense dictate what they were going to do because they waited for their opportunities. Obviously, they came in with a game plan of how to attack that defense, but they really took advantage of some mismatches out there and were able to put a bunch of points on the board.
Most certainly we're in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Well, with that 45-13 dispatch of the Norton Panthers, the Tornadoes move on, and we just found out right now that Tiffin Columbian will play the Richfield Revere Minutemen next week here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium in the next round of the OHSAA playoffs.
All right, so that's where we'll be next Friday, is right back here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. Maybe I'll talk with Dan Hartzell, see if I don't even have to tear this stuff down, just leave it here for the rest of the week. I mean, nobody's going to be up here messing with it. Maybe I'll just leave everything set up for the week. Because, we'll be here tomorrow once again for Tiffin Calvert versus Convoy Crestview at 1:30. Tommy, any final thoughts here before we wrap things up?
No, just about as great of 48 minutes of action that you can have here in the playoffs. Tiffin Columbian with a big statement win as they try to continue to roll on and make more steps make bigger steps as a program, and that next step comes at the hands of the Revere Minutemen next week here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium.
All right, well, that's going to do it. Once again, your final score, Tiffin Columbian 45, Norton 13. I want to thank our board op back at the WTTF studio, audio engineer Anna Ocredo, for keeping us on the air. And thanks once again to our sponsors, UIS Insurance and Investments, our pregame show sponsor, Little Hugo's Ice Cream, our halftime show sponsor, and Frozone Frozen Yogurt, the post-game show sponsor. Thanks to Chris Schieffer Insurance, Coppice Motors, Dundor Plumbing and Heating, Financial Design Insurance Agency, First Bank of Tiffin, Fort Ball Pizza Palace, Great Lakes Ace Hardware, Harrison Price Insurance, Integrated Orthopedics, Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, Lee's Floor Covering, Kibler Shoes, Kuhn Sales and Service, NWO Orthopedics, Phillips Electric, Reineke Tiffin Ford, Rogers Flowers, Superior Credit Union, Tiffin Brake and Wheel, Tiffin Deluxe Services, Tiffin University, and Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. That's going to do it for Greg Kinn and Tommy Hall. I'm Nate Mullins signing off from Frost-Kalnow Stadium. Once again, your final score, Tiffin Columbian 45, Norton 13. We will see you tomorrow afternoon for Tiffin Calvert versus Convoy Crestview right here on WTTF, AM 1600 and FM 93.3. Have a good